Another week, boys, and another TWAB. This week in Destiny, it's been a long week for everyone at Bungie. Our community, and most importantly for all, are the amazing and talented teammates we've had to say goodbye to. Last Wednesday, we delivered a message detailing a reduction in force that affected a large portion of our team. We appreciate all of you who shared your kindness and empathy toward everyone who was impacted, and patience with everyone here at Bungie as we process these changes. We canceled the TWID last week and several other planned comms across our channels out of respect for everyone affected, but we don't want to leave you in the dark for an extended period of time. Today's TWID will open back up our weekly communication cadence as we regroup to push ahead. To get some expectations here, we remain dedicated to supporting our community with transparency and delivering regular updates about the game. All of our previously communicated game content plans remain unchanged. This is something they emphasized even last week, meaning what was on the roadmap, the episodes, and whatever Frontiers is supposed to be. None of that has changed, or so they say. We'll see. The recent changes within Bungie will present challenges that we'll need to work through, so please pardon our dust over the next few weeks. We may experience a few bumps here and there, but our teams are committed to keeping you in the loop and hearing what you have to say. Now, here are the TWID topics for this week. Solstice is here. Destiny 2 update 8.0.5 weapon and armor tuning details, Pathfinder feedback and limited time weekly bride dust, and Bungie Day 2024 wrap up. Okay, something else we're also going to include in today's swap, guys, is Bungie actually, and I'm wondering if they're going to mention it here. They mentioned in a tweet yesterday how they're going to be changing ways or giving us a way to farm for specific perks on exotic class items. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. Now, Solstice 2024. Solstice has returned, and we made some changes this year. We're offering more flexibility in how you can play while earning your armor, and we're also adding some new goodies to look forward to. So let's walk you through everything you can find with Solstice this year. Solstice Forge. To kick off the festivities, head over to Evil Levante to grab the new Solstice Forge item. The Solstice Forge will be your new hub for earning your armor this year. Here you'll find bounties next to each Solstice armor piece, which you can complete to unlock that piece of armor. Now, earn silver leaves. While carrying your Solstice Forge, completing activities will reward silver leaves, which can be used to purchase the Forge bounties. You can earn them through a variety of activities, so if you want to keep grinding Nightfalls or ranking up in Crucible, you'll have the option to play your way while still raking in the leaves. You'll also be able to use silver leaves to reroll bounty sets, offering even more flexibility in playing how you want. Now, armor bounties and alloys. As you complete Solstice Forge bounties, you'll be rewarded with alloys, which will be used to unlock your new armor and glows. And once you reach enough alloys for a piece of armor, you'll be offered a quest to take on the Bonfire Bash, with the armor piece rewarded upon completion. After you've unlocked the armor, you can follow the same process to earn your glows, and you can track your progress directly in the Solstice Forge, so you'll always know where you stand on each piece of armor. Now that you know how the new system works, let's get to the new goodies. Now, I personally like the way the alloy system works in the Solstice Forge, the fact that you can access it all right there in your menu. You don't have to go back to Levante. We have an entire guide on this. Again, this is completely free. You don't have to do these activities. You don't have to do Solstice. Now, I will say some of the weapons are fire. The shotgun may be the best PvP shotgun in the game now, amongst other weapons, which we're in the process of reviewing. But let's continue. Solstice Armor. While we have a brief preview of the concept designs for this year's Solstice Armor during Act 2 developer livestream, you can now feast your eyes on the completed armor in all its glory. I like it. You know, I like the leather approach, you know. At first, when we earned it in the game, I thought it was, you know, I didn't think it looked that good. But it's one of those things, it's like you keep looking at it, it gets better. Is this supposed to like represent like Navigator? Like you as the Navigator? Or is this like something, like what are the glows this year? Because normally glows are just like, hey, here's some RGB. I like it. I actually like it. I mean, it's got that aviation style. I'm a fan. Again, you don't have to wear it. You can obtain this armor set, guys. You can unlock it as transmog and apply it to anything you want. All right, now new weapon. Armor is great, but you know what else is great? Weapons. Previous Solstice offerings will be returning. We'll be hunting for a certain 120 hand cannon that can roll precision instrument. That's what we're playing with right now. Alongside the new Fortunate Star Void combat bow, which is being added to the Solstice loot pool. We're thinking a repulsor brace and destabilizing round roll may be a bit fun out there. Yeah, we recently reviewed it. Bungie, I feel like destabilizing rounds, like in comparison to incandescent and bolt shot, like destabilizing rounds needs a buff. At least a complete removal of the cooldown, but it needs a buff, man. It needs something to stand with volt shot and incandescent. Just my opinion, but it's a solid bow. I got the roll just in case there is a buff in the future. All right, now new memento. Getting the weapon and the god roll is only one part of the battle. The other part is making it look as amazing as possible. We're making this easier for you with the new Solstice memento. Once you've earned the armor glows for a complete set of Solstice armor, you'll unlock the Solstice keepsake. Check it out. Guys, did we figure out how to get more memento drops? I like the memento. Does it just randomly drop on you? Because we unlocked it. I don't even really like it unlocked after doing the quest. But how does it consistently drop? All right, so I'm being told that continuing to do more forged bounties has a chance of dropping the memento. Now, weapon and armor tuning details. Hey, Guardians, it's the weapons team here to provide information on the weapon balance update that went live earlier this week and our thoughts behind those changes. We are currently working on changes for episode Revenant, and we'll share details about those as we get closer to release. Now, weapons. Aggressive scout rifles have lagged behind almost all other primary weapons at PvE DPS, so we wanted to bring them more in line with other options. So aggressive scout rifles increase PvE damage by 30%. Dead Man's Tail is affected by this change. We need to take a look at DMT again. Now, legendary heavy burst pulse rifles displayed the wrong rounds per minute. When expected, they should be in line with Revision 0 and Graviton Lance. This does not affect the weapon's actual RPM. It is just a visual fix. Now, Graviton Lance was affected by an unrelated change, and we are working on a fix to its fire rate being slower than intended. So heavy burst pulse rifles corrected an issue where these weapons were displaying the rounds per minute as 395 instead of 300. A lot of you people brought up the fact that Graviton Lance was noticeably worse. I haven't used it. The point is that this was unintentional. It will be fixed. I don't know when it's going to be fixed. Now, snipers have struggled in PvE for some time, and so we're taking a pass at giving them significantly more usability in our in-game arenas. In the second episode, we've taken an additional and much larger swing at them, substantially buffing damage versus non-boss combatants and further reducing incoming flinch from combatants. So sniper rifles reduce flinch taken from combatants by 50%. All right, so in the second episode, we're going to be getting a buff, okay? And now it's against non-boss combatants, all right? I wish this could have hit now, considering we have anti-barrier sniper. And this says right here, in the second episode is when we're going to get that buff. But okay. Now, glaives have some utility, but in the current state, there is often little reason to use the glaive melee over standard melees available to Guardians. Increasing their damage by 20% should allow them to more easily take down combatants and help to balance the risk versus reward component of their close range playstyle. So glaives increase melee damage at PvE by 20%. We need to break out Winter Bite, man. See how that's going. You know, it's been a while since we've used Winter Bite. Now, lightweight shotguns inadvertently had their movement speed and mobility stat bonuses removed. We've corrected this oversight. Lightweight shotguns corrected an issue where lightweight shotguns were not receiving the lightweight intrinsic buff to movement speed and mobility. Rocket assisted frame sidearms are extremely potent in PvE, and a large part of this is how generous they are with ammo. Upon investigation, we discovered an issue where they were counting as primary weapons for ammo finder contributions instead of special weapons as intended. So we've corrected this. Players will have to be a little more deliberate with their ammo now, but we expect them to still be a top PvE option even after this change. So special ammo, rocket assisted frame sidearms corrected an issue that was allowing them to progress ammo finders as if they were primary weapons. Now, in specific situations such as stacking multiple sticky grenades and detonating them all at once, players could launch themselves with massive acceleration and break traversal in ways Mountaintop wasn't intended to. To address this, we've added a cap 20 meters per second or 44 miles per hour for anyone using Imperial units to the speed you can gain via Mountaintop jumping. So the Mountaintop added the speed limit to the acceleration applied to the player when rocket jumping with Mountaintop. 44 miles per hour. Just what was it before? 44 doesn't seem like, you know, that good, considering you're literally detonating grenades up under you. All right. No, we're investigating player reports of some use cases besides stacking stickies being adversely affected, and we'll see whether we need to revisit the tuning of this limit. Now, PvP weapon tuning. Bows. Bows have taken a beating in PvP since 7.3.5 changes, and while lightweights see some use, precisions have completely fallen off the charts. We're buffing their damage just a bit to help differentiate them from their faster firing brethren, and we will evaluate their effectiveness after this change to see if there's room to buff them further. So precision bows, base damage going from 84.6 to 90, critical hit damage 126.9 to 130.5. Again, this is live in the game right now. Exotics, duality. Duality is technically a pellet shotgun at heart, and so it was inheriting the same aim down sights damage fall off scalar of 1 point times from that frame. We've corrected it to fully work like a slug when ADS, increasing the damage fall off range by a noticeable margin. Okay, we might need to break that out today. Duality, correct an issue where duality was not using the slug shotgun ADS damage fall off scalar value of 1.2. Yeah, it's been a long time since I used it. Now, conditional finality. Its usage has decreased slightly with the introduction of Someday and the reduction in potency of Well and Ward, but it still remains the most effective shotgun in Crucible by a wide margin, with kills over expected more than 2.5 times higher than the next close competitor in the top 10. Chaperone for those who are curious. Conditional finality. Reduce base handling by 15. and it can no longer freeze players who are in a Well of Radiance. This was actually a bug, as players who are in a Well of Radiance should not be able to be frozen by any source, but we held off correcting it until Well of Radiance had been brought down in its PvP effectiveness. Even with the added ignition on shield break effect, Ariana's Vow felt like it struggled against barrier champions in higher level content, so we have greatly increased the damage it does to barrier champion shields. So Ariana's Vow increased damage versus barrier champion shields by 67%. Again, that's just the shield, guys, not actual raw damage being increased here for Ariana by itself. A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Bastion corrected an issue where Bastion was not spawning with ammo in the Crucible. All right, so a lot of these are kind of like just accounting for what we went over the other day. Recombination correcting an issue where the perk would sometimes deactivate before dealing the bonus damage. Okay. Threat Remover, it's a new perk again. Increased buff duration from 5 to 7 seconds, reduced pellets to proc from 12 to 11, and added a handling scalar. Adept weapon mods, right here, they've removed the penalties. Adept counterbalance, remove range penalty. Adept mag, remove handling penalty, and Adept target, remove the stability penalty, but reduce the aim assist stat bonus though from 10 to 7. And this is on top of, you know, the eventual they're adding more Adept mods in the future, but they're moving away from the negative effects that Adept mods used to possess. Now, upcoming changes. As we mentioned, we're working on some updates for episode Revenant. We want to give a small preview of some things we're excited to ship with the update. So buffing underperforming subfamilies like adaptive submachine guns and rapid fire heavy grenade launchers. Greatly increasing shotgun range at PvE. Buffs to numerous underutilized exotics. Ooh. Huckleberry, Chaperone, Bad Juju, Ex-Dearest, Prospector, etc. And perks, Iron Banner specific perks, Slime Ways, Ally Mag, Massive Arms, etc. So what I bet with the Iron Banner specific perks, a lot of those have negative effects similar to Adept mods. They're probably going to remove those. But dude, Huckleberry, Chaperone, Bad Juju, Ex-Dearest, Prospector, all getting buffs? Hell yeah, I'll take it. Man, I actually still from time to time break out Ex-Dearest, and I love Huckleberry. It's just been power creep, man. Same with Prospector. Bad Juju just struggles. When there's just so many other better, especially now that we have high impact pulse rifles in the game, or the the 2 burst pulse rifles. Those are just so good, man. A significant weapon mod rework with the addition of 10 plus new mods. Huh? All right. Now, armor. The armor team has been largely heads down on work for episode Revenant, where we'll be updating several underperforming exotic armor pieces. However, for this update, we wanted to get some fixes and adjustments, and for a few of the balance outliners that have cropped up since the launch of the final shape. So, Hunter. Last year, we made an adjustment to Radiant Dance Machines that prevented them from allowing repeated use of the strand and snaring slam aspect. Our philosophy for these boots is that they should not allow repeated use of any aspect that consumes your class ability energy or otherwise provide significant additional effects to your dodge. The fact that they allow repeated use of the new Ascension aspect was an oversight that we wanted to correct. So Radiant Dance Machine fixed an issue where players could repeatedly activate the Ascension aspect when they had Radiant Dance Machines equipped. All right, so these are things that are live in the game right now. Warlock Getaway Artist no longer grants grenade energy on arc so hit while the player has Devour active. Dude, we've been using the same build, our same Warlock Getaway Artist Devour build. It feels exactly the same. It's still just as potent. This sounds way worse on paper. Solstice, the Spirit of the Star Eater, fixed an issue where the super damage bonus from Spirit of the Star Eater was being applied to ignitions caused by Song of Flame. Do not fret, the damage is still very potent. Solstice, Spirit of Osmomancy, fixed an issue where Vortex grenades were granting more energy back than intended with Spirit of Osmomancy. Yeah, we're doing so what we like to do with a lot of these is do pre and post. Some of these we didn't know was going to happen right now. So we're trying to find like all the pre-footage possible so that we can give like a reference. Context is important to show you what things look like after the Sandbox changes, but that'll be going out probably sometimes this weekend. A lot of these are just recounting what we already saw the other day in the patch notes. For instance, reserve mods here corrected an issue allowing swapping of reserve mods to retain a higher ammo count than the current. Okay, reserve ammunition for all weapon types has been increased by up to 15% with weapons with low reserves for the weapon type getting a larger buff. The cost of reserve mods has been reduced by 1 across the board. Essentially, you cannot quick swap reserves there. Unintentionally so, this somehow has affected weapons with Envious Assassin. So if you do loadout swapping, in the middle of an encounter, which a lot of you probably do, and you have Envious Assassin procced, because of the change in mods in some way, this would actually remove the overflowed magazine that you have with Envious Assassin. Hopefully Bungie addresses that. And now, okay, so now I'm being told it affects all mag overflowing perks. Gotcha. All right, upcoming changes. That's everything we have for this update. There's plenty of things coming down the pipeline soon from the armor team. So get ready to dust off some items in your vaults in the next episode. Updates to some underperforming perks on the exotic class items, particularly for Titans. Good. Buffs some reworks for underused exotic armor pieces. Blight Ranger. Oh! Mask of the Quiet One, Skull of Dire, Ahamkara, and more. Plenty of other small tweaks to exotic armor aiming to provide meaningful utility boosts. Bungie, go crazy with Blight Ranger. Like, seriously. There's not many bosses that are actually shooting projectiles at you consistently. Make it nuts. Like, make it where, like, when you're blocking and it actually, you actually reverse the shot back to whatever target, it does like 10,000 more damage. All right, let's say 10,000 more damage, 10,000% more damage. Now, Pathfinder feedback and weekly bright dust. Since the launch of the final shape, we've been monitoring how Guardians are interacting with the new Pathfinder system and ritual playlists. We've seen some great feedback concerning Pathfinder and the Pelhard destination, but we're still in the process of fine-tuning the system for Crucible, Gambit, and Vanguard playlists. We made a few changes over the Acts 1 and 2 to help address player feedback, such as ensuring there will always be a way to complete Pathfinder cards purely through PvE gameplay. We've also addressed some overly specific objectives, an example being the requirement of Cabal kills and strikes, which was generalized to progress on any enemy faction. We still have things to touch on, but those are some examples of changes made so far. Now, looking into the near future, discoverability and general progression are among the top priorities. We want players to be able to find Pathfinder more easily. The node is a bit small, we agree. And we want objectives to better align with the activities they're set for. Getting 10 grenade kills in PvP without dying is a bit too much of a challenge. Oh yeah. Some changes will be a bit quicker to ship, while others will take time, so stay tuned for updates on our progress. Now, as we continue to absorb and address player feedback, we still wanted to make sure players were earning XP and bright dust at expected rates. We had no intention of reducing either of these rewards when moving from bounties to the Pathfinder system. We've already started one form of a make good through increases to weekly well-rested XP. But we have another that started this week with Destiny 2 Update 8.0.5 to address Bright Dust. As of August 6th, players can visit the Eververse store to claim 350 Bright Dust each week up through the start of maintenance for Episode 2 on October 8th. Holy hell, I didn't know it was going to go that long. Each deposit is only there for 1 week, so be sure to pick yours up each week before weekly reset. We'll have more news to share on Pathfinder changes in the coming weeks. Thank you to all who have been giving feedback. Stay tuned. All right. If you want a lot of bright dust, that's a lot. Now until October 8th, you get 350 for free. Now, Bungie Day 2024 wrap-up. There's only one way to start this, with an extremely heartfelt thank you from the Bungie Foundation for your support during this year's Bungie Day campaign. Together, we raised over $2 million that will positively impact the lives of countless people around the world. For every Guardian who donated, fundraised, tuned into a live stream, shared a social media post, saluted us in the tower, or posted a heart in chat, we can't thank you enough for your continuous support and generosity. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Not only did our community come together to spark a ton of good during this year's campaign, we also crowned the first ever 7th column Chaos Tournament champions. Check out the Twitch up VOD from our Bungie Day live stream in case you missed it. Massive GG's to Team Passion, the Fizzle Pantho, and A for surviving all of the chaotic modifiers read through their way to emerge victorious over a stacked tourney field. Give them a follow over on our Twitch to see more of their insane PvP skills on display. I gotta say, guys, there was one point in the tournament where they made them all play inverted. Talk about some crazy modifiers. I don't know about you. I would just die. A number of known issues, guys, that we're not going to get into right now, but let me cover what we saw earlier or yesterday. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, guys, right here. We've identified an issue impacting exotic class item drop rates. At this time, tier 4 overthrow chests are not contributing to increased drop chances, nor can exotic class items be awarded through them. So if you're doing overthrow and you're farming ergo sums and you're like, dude, I am not getting exotic class items, what the hell? That's why. Spaghetti code, something's happening. It's not dropping the way it's supposed to be dropping. However, there is a light here at the end of the tunnel. We're currently developing a fix, aiming for a near-term hotfix. But right here, we're also looking into giving players a way to chase specific perks in a future update. More details as plans solidify. I'm happy for that because obviously, like, if you're trying to get a specific role and you can chase a specific perk, fantastic. However, I do have to agree with my man Fallout right here. He says, I'm going to be real. It's time to open the floodgates. This plus the one extra drop from Dual Destiny just isn't going to move the needle in a big way. Got to just go full throttle and do double drops or do protection at this point. Feel like this would be an easy goodwill point. So I agree with Fallout on this. Look, I love the idea of chasing a specific role. There's probably going to be a way to like lock a trait But at the same time, dopamine is dopamine. And if you just open the floodgates and just let it just pour on us right now, you know, maybe that's double drops from Dual Destiny. That would score a lot of points with the community. Even look, and I want dupe protection as well. But until Bungie could get to this fix of, you know, chasing that specific perk, because I'm not sure how long it's going to take to roll that out. If it's like you're gonna be able to chase a specific perk in episode 2, that I think that's kind of far away. What is dupe protection? Dupe protection is saying, hey, if you have this roll right here in your inventory or your vault, you're not going to get that roll again. They could just do it like an event. They could do just like we get, you know, double drops in Grandmaster Nightfalls. Bungie, you guys could literally just do double drops in Dual Destiny for a week. Or make it crazy. Do double drops everywhere. Just double drops from chests, double drops from Dual Destiny. Make it a thing that pops up every now and then. Make it last for a week. Just and that is until you get this fix or the ability to chase a specific perk out. Class items should become the only craftable piece of armor. Each time you gain a perk, it's added to the arsenal for you to choose and change. This idea would be great for grind relief. Well, it wouldn't just be great for grind relief. It would be great for saving inventory space. I mean, how are y'all's vaults looking? This is my vault right now. Look at all these class items right here. What he's saying, and this is something we've talked about in the past. You see how this says Spirit of Ophidian, Spirit of Synthesis right here? I know it's like really hard to look at all this because I'm not zoomed in. What if you had a drop-down menu, and as you discover these traits, you literally can go in there and select the ones you've discovered. So you're about to go into PvE and you want to have that apotheosis and Star Eater role. You've discovered those roles, and you go and you select each one of those on your class item. You swap it out, kind of like Aeon Swifts. Yeah, so Aeon Swifts, kind of like that. See how you have your Sect of Force, Sect of Insight, and things like that. You can actually, you know, swap those things out. Similar, just like that. So this is Aeon safe, right? You see how you have all these different options here for Aeons? You could just swap it out, except imagine 2. And as you discover these things, you could just swap them out and just change the icons up for the icons related to that spirit. So this seems like something already present in the game. What I've seen in the past from Bungie, there are technical limitations to how many options you can have available on a weapon or on a piece of armor. I remember them talking about this a long time ago. So I don't know if this is technically possible, but you know, we'll see. All right, as a final note here from Bungie this week, that's everything we have for this week. It's been a difficult couple of weeks for the team. We want to thank you all again for your support. We'll be providing updates and listening to feedback from our Destiny 2 teams accounts throughout the week, and we'll be back next week with another TWID, the Destiny 2 community team. Well, there it is, guys. That is thy TWAB. Look, we're going to be making a video here in the next few days talking about, because I've had some questions come up here recently, like, Cross, why should I play this game when Destiny's going to die? Is this the end? Is it all over? My folks wondering if if everything is over, if this is it. This may feel like an eternity, but give it 3 weeks. Give it 3 weeks. Okay? All I'm saying is for my Destiny folks, just be patient right now. Okay? Be patient right now.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.